In the previous video, we covered the essential building blocks for constructing strong paragraphs. If you haven't watched the video on building strong paragraphs yet, you would benefit from watching it first and returning to watch this clip afterwards. You will have more context for what we're discussing here. This video will demonstrate how the framework outlined in the previous clip applies in a real written context. Our case study for today is a paragraph that describes how students draw upon prior experiences with writing as they embark upon new writing tasks. The paragraph highlights that prior experience can inform writers, but it can also hinder them if they're not careful. The paragraph highlights the importance of adapting one's writing to a new situation. Don't worry about reading it all now. You will have plenty of time to process the content as we see how it all pieces together. The paragraph starts out with a short and direct topic sentence. Writers draw upon their prior experiences when they write new contexts. This sentence sets the reader up to expect that the paragraph will discuss how writers use their prior experiences when faced with new writing situations. Since the topic sentence is fairly generic, the author expands upon the central idea to provide the reader with more context. Sometimes those experiences are useful, but other times they hinder writers. In this elaboration sentence, the writer nuances that it's not just the prior experiences that matter for writers. The nature of these experiences determines whether they're useful or not. This suggests to the reader that they must be selective about which experiences they draw upon, and the rest of the paragraph will describe why. This is where the writer draws upon a secondary source to reinforce the benefits of prior experiences. Lunsford 2015 described that for writers who recognize, quote, how elements of one writing situation are similar to elements of another, their prior knowledge helps them out in analyzing the current rhetorical situation, end quote. In drawing upon Lunsford as evidence, the writer is putting the paragraph in conversation with other people who discuss the same topic. The quote provided explains how prior experiences can benefit writers, and this quote opens a pathway for the writer of this paragraph to leave their own mark on the conversation. The reader can see the benefits, and the writer of this paragraph can take the conversation a bit further than the quote allows. Here we have a great analysis and interpretation of the evidence provided. We can see how the author expands upon the evidence used to discuss the importance of being selective about what experiences are relevant and which are not. In all, the analysis or interpretation develops a bigger conversation around the core ideas presented in the paragraph. When you bring it all together, you get a paragraph that sets us up to understand that the writer's prior experiences matter. It then transitions us to consider possible challenges to adapting one's writing to new contexts. It draws upon a quote to situate the paragraph in a larger conversation. It then expands upon this evidence to make its own contribution to the topic and enhance the reader's understanding. It is worth noting that paragraph structures differ. Us writing people are often notorious for breaking our own structures. That's because all of these structures are flexible so that they can be adapted to new contexts, similar to writing experiences. Sometimes a writer will include only one piece of evidence in a paragraph, like in this paragraph. Other times, a writer may include a couple of perspectives. Sometimes, paragraphs are a few lines and others are 15 to 20 sentences. Most paragraphs, however, have some combination of a topic sentence, evidence, and analysis that makes writing clear and easy to follow. The context may change, but the building blocks do not. The magic is that once you have the building blocks, you can move them around and try new configurations that add dexterity, flexibility, and, dare I say it, maybe even a bit of fun to your writing.